about Riari? Let them know what Riari stands for.
So Riari actually stands for ripped and rich, and you see in our logo we like to use rips a lot, and the reason why we picked that is because a rip is something that represents everyone's like individual pain, struggles and tribulation you go through in life. Another reason why we choose a rip is because a rip is something that can never be replicated. Like if you rip your jeans or you rip your t-shirt, the rip will never be the same, and that's meant to represent everyone's individuality. Just where like me and you, we've both been through stuff in life, but it's not the same, and that's kind of like a rip will never be the same. So whenever you wear Riari, it's meant to be an individual type of brand to you, to represent your individuality, your struggles, your trials, your tribulations. But then the rich side of Riari is about enriching your mind, your body and your soul, so that you can overcome all the rips you've incurred in your life. So the brand is meant to be quite a motivational, uplifting brand. And then we go by our motto, which is trust in triumph through tribulation, which is basically believe in overcoming throughout your struggles. And if you go on our website, you see there's a separate section which is called TX3 collection, and that's basically Trust, Triumph, Tribulation collection, which we're going to be working on more in the future as well. That's basically the concept of the brand. You look like you never heard this before.
No, I have, but like, when you said it the first time, I know because you say it the same way every time. You say me and you, this is this, but it's just because there's so much, there's an attachment with it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
There's something that makes it solid, that something makes it individual, that makes it unique. Do you know what I'm saying? Rather than just the name being a namesake. Do you know what I'm saying? But right now, I don't think anyone else can explain your brand better than I don't think so anyways. But yeah man, the new set's looking nice, I like this. How many colours are you looking, or if you was to bring it out, how many colours?
If I was to bring it out, I think we'd probably be looking definitely at this colour. This colour is really nice. Maybe a grey, a light grey, something like that.
For sure, yeah.
But the thing we're trying to work on is something that we released previously. It's called the Black Panther tracksuit. I'm not sure if you remember it. It's like the one with the scuba material and the velvet material. We're trying to bring that back.
Is that the gold one? The one with the gold rip?
No. It's just a embroidered logo.
Oh, okay.
You'll see it, and we're going to be doing a little. That's what the models are wearing. But basically, that done quite well in the past, so we want to bring it back and just like improve it a bit. And one thing I feel like Riari has been lacking is whenever we sell something, whenever we release something, we never restock it. And I think for a brand trying to like blow in this industry, like you need to have some products that are kind of like, I believe it's called like staple products, like you just always have on your website available, like same way Nike have it, they've always got their standard tracksuits and stuff like that. So basically I've decided that we need to take a step back and let's try get a regular product that we're always going to restock consistently, and we want it to be this tracksuit. So that's basically at the stage we're at now.
Because you know, obviously, when you bring out new products, the first people you're showing your family, your loved ones, then you're showing your friends. You know what I'm trying to say? But how much does it mean to you having the acknowledgement from your friend or from someone who you don't know? Like, what's that about? How do you feel?
I feel like at the start, it's basically as you said, like initially you're always just trying to go to your friends, trying to sell to your friends, and eventually you reach a stage where you know your brand is only going to go so far if you just rely on the people around you. So you need to get the support from random people, like random customers, people you don't know. And I think the first time someone ordered on the website that I didn't know, I was like, man, we made it. I started asking everyone I knew. I was like, do you know this person? They're like, nah. Do you know this person? Nah. I was like, oh, mad. Like, that feels really good. And it's the little things that really show whether you're passionate about something or not. Like, yeah, it was just one sale, but that one sale made me see a whole range of like possibilities for us. I was like, this is one step in the right direction. Like, one random person has come on our website, whether it's from Instagram or elsewhere, they come and they bought something. Now let's try and just increase it. Yeah, let's just keep it going.
Definitely.
So it's definitely an amazing feeling.
I was speaking to one of the brands just recently, and he was pretty much saying how some people don't, you know, in terms of clothing line, a lot of people, when I asked some guy that has his own clothing line, I think he was telling me about his friends saying, oh, you need to make this amount, this, or you need to be making this profit, blah, 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 from clothing. Do you think it's about the profit or it's about the brand's longevity? Seeing as pricing can still scale a brand, do you think it's... What do you think?
Personally, I feel like there's no set blueprint to making it in this industry, innit? And there's a lot of like discussion, even like within my own team. Sometimes we have a little bit of debates about pricing our products. Sometimes everyone wants to price it really expensive. They're saying, oh, if we don't price it high, that means we're devaluing the brand.
Yeah.
I feel like especially as it comes to like starting up in a brand, it shouldn't really be about money. It's all about longevity. It's all about learning. It's all about progression, innit? And with me, if I was in this game for money, I probably wouldn't be in this game, because I've made money in much other like businesses, other ways I've made money. And clothing is a really, like, for me anyways, I'm not too sure how everyone else's experience has been, but I'm always looking in the future. Because if I look at the present, it's okay, but the money doesn't really make sense now. It's a lot of investment. And I feel like you'll see the returns in the future. A lot, but as I said, like, there's no set blueprint to making it in this game. You just got to see what works for you.
Consistency is probably the one thing that's in the blueprint.
Yeah, 100%.
I think a lot of clothing brands right now, to be honest, my advice to any clothing brand that will be coming up is, if you're going to start a clothing brand, you can't be thinking of profit within the first 2 years. If all you're thinking about is profit, then it's just going to...
It's going to demotivate.
And your mentality.
Where's it going? Like, oh, why am I not making money and stuff like that?
For sure. So what advice would you give to someone who's just about to start their clothing brand? They're 100% passionate. They have just about enough money in their bank account to get what they want. What was your first mistake that you learned that you said, alright, cool, every brand owner should know this? What would that be?
I'll say my first big mistake, which I guess could have put me at a financial gain, would have been when I first tried to expand my business by going abroad. So I was searching for a manufacturer in Bangladesh, and long story short, I found one. He sent me samples, I paid him some money, and then eventually I realized communication just wasn't really working. And then after I sent him about £2,000, I'm expecting my collection to come. He just disappeared off the face of the earth, innit? And that's my £2,000 gone down the drain. But it's like, I'm just a complete idiot because I didn't do any prior research into it. Like, if I went on, for example, was it Alibaba? If I went to Alibaba, I could have got my money back. I just found some random guy on the internet. He was talking all good. He sent me samples. He you know, like, he softened me up. And I can see you're getting angry and you've been through the same thing, fam. It's mad, but it's such like an easy mistake to make. But the good thing about that as well is, like, it really tests you. Like, how many people will say, okay, I just lost £2,000 in a business that I haven't really made profit off yet, but I'm still going to go into it. I'm still going to try and make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do that, so it was a good test of character. But you don't need to lose £2,000 to test your character. So if you can avoid that, I would say avoid that. A good thing that I've started to do is I've started to go to the countries I want to work with, innit? So whether that's Portugal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Turkey, wherever you want to go, I would recommend go out there, innit? It makes you look much more serious to your manufacturers, or you can build a much better relationship because they know you're serious. You're out there, you visit them, you can see the factory. So that's basically what I've done this year. I went out to go see my manufacturers and find new manufacturers as well. So yeah, be careful with sending money.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Obviously, in terms when you start your own clothing brand, there's a lot of competition straight away. Obviously, regardless of what level you are, everyone still sees every other brand as a competition. Yeah. Maybe not to the direct market, but as business. One thing that I noticed in the fashion industry is no one likes to give their secrets out, where they get their manufacturers from. You know, those kind of things. I think. What do you think? Do you think it's a trade secret, or do you think it's just?
I don't know. There's pros and cons to giving it away, because I feel like saying what country you get your stuff made is not a problem. But nowadays, I feel like it's a bit of common sense. A lot of people, if you want top it depends what you're looking for as well, isn't it? Like I think from my experience, like Pakistan are probably the best for like quality and price. If you want like a merge in it. But Turkey is best for quality, but their price is a little bit higher. So then it's kind of like, you know what I mean? But a lot of, I think, our clothing lines, they go to Turkey. But then when you look at the big brands, they don't have one manufacturer in it. They specialize in different people. And you might have a manufacturer that's really good at something. And just because everyone's going to Turkey doesn't mean you need to go to Turkey. Why don't you just ask your manufacturer what he specializes in, whether that might be hats, trousers, coats, whatever, and keep him for that, and then go elsewhere for whatever your manufacturer's slacking in, you know what I mean? So that's another thing I'm trying, right now I've got 2 manufacturers that I'm trying to work with, innit? One in Bangladesh, one in Turkey. So it's like, and I want to build that, and then if I need to look elsewhere, I look elsewhere, but at the moment I'm quite happy with my manufacturers. Definitely. It's a sticky one about telling, like, for example, when I'm saying pros and cons here, is because some people see it as like, okay, you can tell them, you don't want to give away your manufacturer, innit? Because your manufacturer, they might say, oh yeah, make your tracksuit like this one, but just change the logo or something like that. There's that fear element.
Well, you can't, like, it's not about who did it first, it's about who did it right.
Yeah, that's true.
And in terms of, I don't think there is a problem with giving out who does it. You know, someone can come to you and say, oh, Riari, I like what you men are doing, you know, let me see who's your manufacturer.
Yeah, I want to work with your manufacturer.
You know what I'm saying? You could give it to them and they could just go on Instagram and carry on their day. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone there's a process and a step.
They might not even take those steps to work with your manufacturer.
They might say, oh, fuck that, because he's got him, let me go find my own.
I feel like it also depends on the process it took you to find your manufacturer as well. Because if it took you a long time and the graft and everything, you're not going to want to easily just be like, I grafted to find mine. You need to go put in some work, innit, to find one. With
your situation, because you've had a big situation to start with, would you easily give your manufacturer away?
I don't think I'd give my manufacturer away to anyone, to be fair. Really? I would say what country. Even when I went out to Turkey this year, innit, I was in talk with about 6 or 7 manufacturers. All of them are good manufacturers. I just decided to pick one that I felt a better vibe from. But I would have been happy to work with any of them. So, you know, honestly, maybe I would have given them someone else. Like, if someone really came to me and I like you, and you know what I mean, like, for example, you came to me and said, look, you know what I mean, I would be like, I'll give you a list of, but not my one.
The only reason why I asked is because obviously with the £2,000 situation, obviously me going through that, I did my research which wasn't good enough, which lost me 2 bags.
Exactly, and even me, I think I was at that stage as well. I was asking people, I didn't stupidly go and lose 2 grand. I asked, and everywhere I went, it was like a dead end, like no one was trying to help me. So I said, you know what, bun everyone, I'm gonna do it myself. And I flopped. But man's still here, innit?
It's a life story. But I think if you look at it in a way, I mean, how can I put it? You know when people say when you're broke and no one helps, when you're rich you don't help no one, they say because no one helped them when they were broke kind of thing.
It's a stereotype, it's a hypocritical behaviour as well, isn't it?
I think you just got to find the balance of helping but not giving away, you know, teach them out.
There's a way to help without giving away too much. For example, if someone came to me and I don't have a real relationship with you and said, look, I want a manufacturer, I want to work with your manufacturer, I'd be like, cool. They charge, let's just say they charge, I don't know, £30 for a tracksuit. I'll say, look, they'll do your tracksuit for £32 and I'll do my little thing on the side because I'm helping you anyway. Because you know it's secure, innit? And I'm giving you my plug, but it's at a cost. And obviously, when you start expanding, I'm not going to be able to deal with your stuff anyway. I'll say, look, you lot talk, do your thing. But on top of that as well, a lot of people are time wasters. Like they'll come, you give them to your manufacturer, and your manufacturer will be like, stop bringing me these people that are wasting my time. It creates bad relationship for you.
That's what I was saying about the whole, they might want it, but they don't have what it takes to actually start it. You know what I'm saying? So man. So 2020 is coming up, man. What's the
2020 is coming up? I think the main thing, as I kind of said previously, is about the staple products, innit? I really want to get a few products like that I consistently push throughout the year, innit? One being my Black Panther tracksuits, might release some nice new colours as well. And the other thing is my White Lion tee, but in a few other colours, you know, the t-shirt with the gold straps. I want to release them in like a whole load of other colours. Main reason I want to do those is because those are designs that that we fully made ourselves, and we don't think there's a lot of other brands out there, especially the t-shirt design, that have anything like that. So we really want to get it out there and show like our uniqueness and stuff like that.
Yeah,
stand out from the crowd.
Definitely.
On top of that though, we are trying to focus on another, without giving away too much, we want to start releasing a denim collection.
Okay.
So we want to just kind of we don't want to stay in the whole tracksuit game forever. We want to diversify a little bit, but not too much. Like we still want to be urban fashion, but more just like a broader urban fashion.
For sure. What manufacturer you want to use?
Oh, that one, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna ask them which one. Like, do you do denim? Do you work with denim? Like, what have you done in the past? Show me some prototypes. Compare it, innit? And then the best thing to do when it comes to like picking what manufacturer to work with, just get them to make samples and compare it. Whichever one you prefer, just be like, yo, listen. But you want to make sure you don't ruin relationships as well. So
important. This is more economical, but in terms of the whole Brexit, how important is it to keep a relationship with your manufacturer in terms of price scaling up? Especially since you're shipping from outside of the UK.
Yeah.
What have they spoken to you about that?
About Brexit and stuff like that? No, and I'm not really into politics, innit? The way I see it, because a lot of people ask me about Brexit and stuff like that, innit? I feel like, bruv, if you're going to be rich, you're going to be rich. If you're going to be poor, you're going to be poor. It doesn't matter who's in charge or what politics is going on. I know it will affect us a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect us so much because England is, like the UK is a really strong economy. If we're out of the EU or not, they know what they're doing. They're going to make sure, there's much bigger fish than me and you or us little clothing lines that work with European companies importing and exporting. So it will still be alright.
It's the import and export that I was really focusing on about car. It does seem like it's going to stop going up. If it's not now, definitely surely in the future. So it's just something that I kind of look out for, because definitely the VAT prices will increase. Maybe not the product price, but the VAT increase therefore affecting how you're.
It's true.
So those are things that I'm really kind of. That really, obviously, anyone, you get rich if you want to get rich, but I just want to see if my path is being obstructed, kind of thing.
Of course, innit?
Would you go to a UK, because I know you have two overseas, would you go to a UK one, or would you still stick to your two that's up there?
I would probably still go abroad, just because I feel like UK manufacturing is way too expensive, especially if you want to do more complex products. Like if you want to do really complicated tracksuits and coats and stuff, UK prices are just too expensive.
Definitely.
So even if you add up the VAT and the shipping costs and everything, you're probably better off going abroad.
Okay, definitely. So what's it like having a strong woman by your side, man?
You know what, I can't lie, I feel like having a woman in my life is really good for focus, innit? Like, I feel like you don't really notice how much energy you spend on girls until you just have one, and then you just eventually you relax a bit more, but you're focused in what you want to be focused on, innit? Because you got your missus. All that time you spent like chatting to fair girls, you don't spend that time no more. So obviously you have to dedicate time to your missus. That's a given. But the rest of the time you can just focus on what you want to focus on, innit?
Definitely.
So no, it definitely helps, and especially because she supports the business, she's part of the company. So it's good. It's good.
It's nice seeing you, man. It was a good conversation, Riari.
Oh, come on, bro. Man. Anytime, man.
From the first time, when was that? Birmingham.
That was in Birmingham, a little fashion show. It was a while back, and we're still here. We're still grafting, fam, and we ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna stop.
You gotta have the passion, man, 100%.
Yeah.
It's nice speaking to you, obviously.
I love it.
We look forward to seeing obviously what you bring out this year, definitely. Especially your staples products, definitely.
So my name's Amazi Lowley. This is Riari, and you can find us on Instagram at Riari Apparel, or you can go on our Instagram, Twitter, Riari Apparel, Facebook is just Riari, or you can go on our website, which is www.riari.co.uk.